name is Chester Volt, and today we've got another exciting episode of Witches Be Trippin'. Now, before we move on with our show, I think we need a little bit of background information, so I'd like to transition over to Bertha Roberts, our expert, for a little bit of information on conformity.
Well, Chester, conformity is compliance with standards, rules, or laws. Today we will be discussing the impact it has on our society, and that of Salem in Massachusetts during the witch trials.
Hello again, everybody. I'm back here in Salem to begin our discussion on conformity. Now, throughout the witchcraft trials of Salem, conformity greatly impacts the citizens as it guides their beliefs and decisions while encouraging them to comply with social norms in the town. Just as characters in the Crucible attempt to fit into Puritan Salem, even in America today, where personal expression is celebrated and encouraged, teenagers in America today feel pressure to fit in with what society dictates. What are your opinions of recent events in the town?
Well, as of right now, there has been a lot of witchcraft been going around, and I've been taken by the devil. Actually, I don't really know. Abigail just told me to say this, and I'm not really sure what's going on.
Well, if Abigail told you to jump off a cliff, would you?
Probably, I don't know. Whatever she says.
Recent rumors have been circling around about your witchcraft in the woods. Care to explain?
Well, last night, Abigail wanted to go out into the woods to talk to the spirits, and I just went along. She's trying to find a way to kill Elizabeth so she can have John Proctor all to herself. I don't really know what's going on. I don't even know what I'm wearing right now. What even is this?
What have you been doing in...
Oh no, my dad's coming. I have to go back to sleep.
How has society impacted you?
Well, everything in Salem is way out of line. I don't even want to go to church anymore because Reverend Parris's sermons are an abomination. All this talk about hell, it's ridiculous. I'm just trying to get myself as far away from Salem and their ideals as possible.
Would you care to explain to us your thoughts on your relationship with Abigail?
There is no relationship anymore. I've admitted to our affair, and for a long time I tried to keep it secret. But it's time to let the truth out. Abigail has blown this way out of proportion. Everything she's saying is a lie. People need to realize that, and she's using my actions against me.
And your relationship with your wife, Elizabeth?
I love that woman more than anything, and Abigail's really thrown a wrench in our marriage. I will do anything to save her, even though Abigail's trying to keep us apart. I listen to my wife, but I refuse to listen to the people of Salem and what I should do.
Hi there, everyone. Now we're going to discuss an important topic that brews conformity in Salem. So we're going to move to our other expert in Salem, Sandra McCarthy, to give us some information on hysteria.
The theme hysteria is present throughout the witch trials. In fear of being accused, the citizens go along with the actions of everyone else in the town. Many citizens accuse others to stay alive. As a result, conformity is essential for their survival.
Thank you, Sandra. Now we're going to take a quick break, so here's a message from our sponsor.
Do you like burning at the stake?
Or how about public hanging?
If so, Salem is the place for you. With its vivid sermons and strict religious intolerance,
Salem is the ideal vacation destination. Salem, the place to be. No guarantees you'll not be accused of witchcraft during your stay.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Now, for the remainder of our show, we'll be continuing to discuss the impacts of conformity on society. Enjoy. What were your first impressions of Salem when you arrived?
When I arrived in Salem, there were many rumors of witchcraft. I went directly to the Paris household where I met with Betty Paris. She was in her bed and very sick. I immediately knew she was with the devil.
And how did you react to this witchcraft?
Well, at first, my immediate reaction was to rid the town of witches by, obviously, hanging them. It's the only real solution. But soon after we began court trials, and I sat through many, I realized the town had, well, they started to convict people who really didn't seem like they were guilty of being witches. They were convicting people on charges of using voodoo dolls and very strange things. A young man's wife was convicted for simply reading books. The problem with this with me was there was no real proof, no real evidence. Soon after one court trial, we were sitting in the back room debating with Proctor about accusations that Abigail and her friends were pretending to be witches. And when this thought was raised, I really did believe it. And then Giles came up and he had a list of written accusations and people who didn't believe in the witchcraft either. This is what really turned me. When Danforth arrested Proctor, he was a model citizen. He was a good man that I had known. He had never done anything. They simply arrested him for an accusation of his housemaid, Mary Warren. She was simply acting out of fear of Abigail and the other girls. She was obviously trying to avoid them and did not want to be ridiculed by them any longer. After these events, I realized that my initial views were wrong and that I shouldn't be blindly following what the other people were saying and the accusations they were making. Excuse me, we're going to start the interview now.
Oh, well, yeah, sorry, I gotta check my ratios. If I don't get enough likes on this, all my friends are gonna be making fun of me in school. Honestly, I feel like my friends are always making fun of me. I always have to fit in with them or else, it could be bad. I feel like I can't be myself.
How does the pressure from society impact you?
Well, it really definitely shapes all my decisions and, the way I act. I recently bought a new lacrosse stick, but then I realized it was a different brand than all the cool people on my team had, so I felt like I had to get that brand to fit in with them or else they would think it was stupid. And even this shirt cost me $200. I had to spend a month of allowance in order to buy it, but the Gucci brand is what everybody has these days, and I felt like I needed it. Individual expression is definitely not encouraged in the society I live in. I feel like a lot of times I just have to blindly go along with what everybody else decides is the right thing to do. That wraps up today's episode of Witches Be Trippin'. Thanks for spending your time listening about our time in Salem.